Doctor Who star Peter Capaldi, the 12th Doctor, has faced Daleks, Zygons, and flown through time in his TARDIS. But this next adventure may be his scariest. I'm Sasha Pearlraver, and this is Screen Junkies News. Peter Capaldi has been the Doctor on BBC's pop culture behemoth Doctor Who for 2 seasons now. But in an interview with BBC Radio's Joe Whiley, Capaldi said that this 3rd season, the 10th season of The New Who, will be his last, and that he will then pass the torch in the 2017 Christmas special. As he said, quote, "It will be my last. I feel it's time to move on," end quote. However, he promises that just because he's moving on, that doesn't mean he's not giving it his all. Giving it all that it needs for the final season. He exclaims, "I'm still Doctor Who. We're doing epic stuff. I am not done yet, and neither are we," because here to talk to me about what this might mean and who we want as the new Doctor is Mr. Matt Key. Hi, Matt Key.
Hi. How are you, Sasha?
Well, I'm good. I'm better because he was teaching me how to pronounce stuff before we started. What do you think this means? And do we think that this is tied to the fact that Stephen Moffat, who was the showrunner, is leaving? Is this like a cleaning house situation?
I think maybe. I think there could be like some serendipity here, because if you look at it, Tenet was on for 3 seasons, then Matt Smith was on it for 3 seasons. So this is Capaldi's 3rd season. So the pattern fits.
It's a trilogy pattern.
It's a trilogy pattern.
Lots of movies like to do that. Shows can do that too.
I don't know that that's necessarily like a rule. I don't think that they have like, you're on for 3 seasons, then you're out. But it does seem like.
Do they say it like they're chomping on a cigar? When
in Britain, they're like, you're out, kid, you're out.
Totally.
They adopt that accent, I don't know that it's directly tied to, but I would say that Capaldi was probably enticed to leave a little bit more so because Moffat was leaving. Moffat's the one who brought him in. So I would imagine that there's like a closeness between the two of them. And what this ends up doing is the new guy coming in, this guy named Chris Chibnall, I believe was that right? He's coming in, and it could also be a thing of like, you know what, let's give this new guy a completely clean slate.
Yeah. Which I actually really like. I mean, some of my favorite shows, when the original showrunner left, it went downhill with a bullet, and it's because you're trying to recreate what they have, and you can't do that. Chris Chibnall, or however we're pronouncing his last name.
I'm saying Chibnall.
Sure. He did Broadchurch, and Broadchurch was awesome. So I feel like he will be able to take this over and do it in a very cool way.
And he also has written for Doctor Who, and he also did Torchwood.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, Torchwood was a spinoff of Doctor Who. So he's written for Doctor Who. He's also written for Torchwood in their first couple seasons. So it's a mythology that he's already familiar with. So he's a good choice to take it over. Having created Broadchurch, that's like a very dramatic show.
That's awesome. I love that show.
So I can only imagine that the new Doctor Who moving forward will still have all the sci-fi goodness, but maybe even have like just that much more weight to it.
Well, you just said those words, the new Doctor Who. Matt Key,
I did.
Who will be the new Doctor Who if you are in charge?
If I'm in charge,
You're in charge right now.
I'm in charge right now. So I would love to have a Doctor Who of color or of female persuasion. I think it's time to get away from white males. And though Capaldi was Scottish, which is nice for the British to deviate from being British, I guess.
Okay.
I think it would be good to have like a black actor or a female.
Sure.
Or, God forbid, both.
Any names?
One of my favorite comedic actors of all time is Richard. I'm going to butcher this. Speaking of names, I'm going to butcher this last name.
I got you. Iowade.
Is it Iowade?
Yeah, that dude's the bomb.
That dude's
dude
amazing.
Is the bomb.
From the IT Crowd.
Yes,
and what was the American movie that he did? The Watch?
He did The Watch, which wasn't great, but he was the best part of it.
Yeah, he was the reason to watch it.
And as a director, he's also phenomenal.
Yeah. And it's Iowade?
Iowade. And my darling Charlie Feldman is off in the back going, "Submarine," because that was a directorial debut. It's a very small independent film out of Britain, and it's
I've never even heard of it.
Genius.
It's called Submarine?
Yeah, it's Netflixy. Do it. It's
man,
so good. But anyway.
I legit love that guy. And he has like the perfect sort of temperament for the Doctor. Like very crazy and wacky and out there, but still like very like he can take it seriously.
And he's British.
So
they don't lose that.
And he can improvise really well. So like he could end up being like a good sort of polar opposite to Chris Chibnall, who we've seen as like very serious, dramatic, Broadchurch drama.
What if it's a woman?
If it is a woman, which I really think it's time for a female doctor, Haley Atwell has gone on record saying she would love to be the doctor. And her newest series, what was it called?
Well, she was Agent Carter, which was great, and then was canceled. And then she had that terrible show on ABC.
What was it?
Conviction. Yes, Charlie again with the clutch move.
Charlie and I were talking before.
The reason I don't know it is because no one has paid attention to it.
No one's paid attention to it, and Charlie and I were talking earlier, and it has officially been canceled.
Yeah.
That was The Reporter, I believe.
Well, it's ABC. Always be canceling. But I love that they keep giving her jobs. But she deserves.
She's great.
She's
fantastic, and she's wants to do it. If I remember the quotes correctly, she's always wanted to do it. It's been a dream of hers in the same way that it was David Tennant's. So
she deserves a show that will live on. And if she's part of it, we know we'll at least get 3 seasons because they're going into their 54th year. Doctor Who is not going anywhere. So that's all fine. Any other women you would like to see?
We talked about it before. I would love to see Tatiana Maslany or Natalia Tena. Natalia was Tonks in the Harry Potter films. And she was also in Game of Thrones. I think and she's actually gone on record saying I think she wants to play it as well.
Interesting. So. And then Tatiana Maslany, who's such a genius on Orphan Black, which is now going into its final season. Well, we want to know what you guys think. Who would you like to see play the Doctor next? You can comment below. You can tweet us at SJ News. You can always click here for more Screen Junkies. And we'll see you soon.